Hello and welcome back to the workshop. Have you ever gone down a DIY rabbit hole further than you ever thought you might? Yeah, that's what this project is turning into. So the backstory on this is that we went to New York City back in October of 2021, and when we visited the Empire State Building, in the gift shop, we picked up a snow globe for our son. It is King Kong, and the snow globe has the skyline of New York City, Statue of Liberty, a little cab, sitting in King Kong's mouth. Well, about Christmas time that year, he ended up accidentally breaking the globe on it, and I said I would see what I could do to fix it. Back then, I was able to find a globe, and it is how big is that? About a 65 millimeter globe for it. And one of those things where, we'll just refill it with water, put some glitter in it, we'll be good. Then it sat on my workbench now for about a year and a half. So now I've got a couple of snow globe projects that I want to go through and take care of, and we don't have a lot of them, but all the ones we have aged and have different problems. In recent research, I found that there is a YouTube channel devoted to snow globe repair. I believe it is called Snow Globe Rescue. And they started it, I think, during the pandemic, and just as a kind of a side hobby, repairing and acquiring these snow globes and fixing them, whether they just have bubbles in them or they need the water changed and all that. A little fascinating. Again, a little deep of a rabbit hole going down to figure out how to repair a snow globe, more than I ever thought that it would actually take. So, going to try to finish repairing this King Kong snow globe. Now, doing some research early on, there was talk about using a few drops of glycerin to make the water a little more thick, to be able to let those flakes fall a little slower, just increase that viscosity. What Snow Globe Rescue has found is that it's not just a couple of drops. That's completely bunk. It doesn't do anything. With a couple of drops, you need a considerable amount. They like to use clear, transparent glue instead of glycerin. It's a little bit less expensive. And I would also think that glycerin might be like a little, foam, bubbles. The glycerin is typically used in like the like bubble solutions. So this is actually going to be my second or third time through trying to make this work. So first time was I used some glycerin, didn't really like the way it was turning out. So I'm going to try glue on this one. And their recommendation is for a larger snow globe, which is 2 cups of liquid, to use 4 tablespoons of clear, transparent glue. So let's figure out how much liquid that holds and go from there with how much glue we might need. Now, with trying to keep out any sort of impurities, I am also using distilled water in this, and see how that goes. And we'll talk about some of the tools that I use that what they had recommended, and I kind of learned watching a few of their videos. So let's take a look here and see how much liquid we actually have. I'm going to fill it right up there to that edge. When that snow globe broke, all right, the plug is okay, the figurine is okay, it was just the glass that broke around it. how much do we have here? We have about half a cup. So if we were doing 4 tablespoons for 2 cups worth, then we're really only looking about a tablespoon for half a cup. And that would be good to know. Before I do that, I'm also going to prep this larger bowl with distilled water, and I will be using that to get the air bubbles out there after the fact. So we're going to submerge the globe in water and then work those air bubbles out. All right, glue. Go ahead and put the glue in, and I want a tablespoon. I'm going to use King Kong's mouth here to help stabilize that. You're a little low there. Let me adjust you over a little bit. Yeah, just on the side. Now, okay, that's pretty good there. I'm going to I'm going to add a little bit of water. I don't want to fill it too far. I really just want to dilute that clear glue. And as we add more water, that clarity should hopefully clear up a little bit too. Okay. Next step will be to add the glitter. Now I'm going to add, let's do a 1/4 teaspoon of glitter in there. The problem I had before too was this glitter was floating, or the glitter I had was floating. So that may still be a problem. I picked up some different glitter, but it seems to be having the same problem. I don't know if it's, I mean, it's obviously density is causing that glitter to float. In fact, we can see it floating on top there right now. I'm hoping that it drops down once it's all wetted. And I'm putting the glitter in now, and I'm not filling up all of the globe all the way because I want to have a clean seal. I'm afraid that if I were to get enough water in there and have that come out, that's going to contaminate that seal. Now we're going to seal it with hot glue as well after it's in. But I will have a method here to seal it up the rest of the hole to get the water back in it. We'll use hot glue around the lip of the glass all the way around, and then glue it into the base. Okay. Now the trick that they were doing was a injector to slide down between the seal and the glass. So I'm going to fill this up with distilled water, see if I can slide that in there, and then fill that up the rest of the way. And then once I get near the top, I'm actually going to submerge it, I think, now. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that now. of that water in there. Let's get King Kong out of the way. Bring over our glass. Let's submerge. Okay, perfect. And the idea being, it's got a lot of air in it right now, so it's a bit buoyant. But the idea being that once we slide this in between, I can inject water into it, and that water is going to displace the air. And once I'm getting bubbles, I am sure I'm getting the air out. Now it looks like I have reached the point of getting most of the air out. I still have some bubbles there. And there's a clump of glitter. See if shaking it will release up that, mix it up a little bit more. Alright, so the clump has decreased. It's a very nice, clump has decreased. It's a very nice soft flow rate. The downside is now I have got a lot of, I have a lot of bubbles there on the top. Yeah, it's a nice gradual fall. Okay. Let's see if we can get the rest of those bubbles out. I'm going to submerge it. It's spilling out some of this water. I'm going to transfer it over to a spare Pyrex. Right. Get some water in this. And this is just a baster, like a turkey baster that I'm using, but it has a needle point. Well, there's a point on it to inject turkeys. The plug just went all the way in. It's not helpful. Alright, so fairly large bubble now. One other thing that I tried using the other day was this dental tool. down in there and get it started. That's actually working fairly well. So really all I'm doing is giving it a slight push-pull on. Slight push-pull on that. Now if the globe's still submerged, and if all the air is out, then I should not be getting any air back into it. Right? Right. It's a little bit there. How did you get there? Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to try this dental tool again, see if I can just get that out. Almost getting there. That I like. Now this glitter is still somewhat floating. Not ecstatic about that. Oh, but I'm probably just going to say good enough for this one. Just working that seal down a little bit more while it's underwater. The glitter that I picked up I thought was white. It's more clear, which actually is, it's kind of interesting because it's, you really only see it when it's flying around. You won't notice it much when it's sitting on the bottom. All right, so yeah, about 1 tablespoon of clear glue to every half cup of volume. And it's going to be less water because you've got a tablespoon in there, but for a half cup globe, 1 tablespoon of glue gives a nice appearance there. All right, I'm happy with that. So that will fit in like so. So now it is, now it is time to glue. So I'm going to get that surface as dry as possible. Put you in there so it doesn't roll away, and then go get the hot glue gun. Okay, I have the hot glue gun warmed up here. As hot as this little one is going to get. Should probably invest in a better one of these days. Now I'm just going to put a bead of hot glue all around that edge, sealing up the plug and the glass. Almost like welding. That kind of is. Rotating the piece slowly. As this hot glue is laid down. I'm pretty sure that bottom doesn't sit against the bottom of King Kong. The contact points seem to be at the top and bottom of the mouth along the round part of the globe. Okay. Gonna let that cool for a little bit. And here's the thing with hot glue too, is if this doesn't work out, we can heat that up either with hot water or a hot air gun, and it should come back apart. All right, that's solidified. I put that down in there. Actually a little snug, but that is okay. All right, so what I'm going to aim for, that's nice. What I'm going to aim for is, I think I'm going to put, looking to see where it sits. So the hot glue, obviously I want this to, I'm going to be able to turn this upside down and not really worry about it. So anywhere there's a curved surface here, the sloped surface is where that globe sits. So if I stay to the bottom of that with a bead of glue, I should be okay. And I don't want to spend too much time because it's going to get hard on me there. I'm going to put it in so that the skyline is in line with the mouth. All right, let's see how quickly I can do. It's interesting. The original glue line was a little bit further down. We can see the glue marks on the inside there. Triple checking. Okay. All right. Here's nothing. Glue marks there. Glue line here. And sit in there. Cool. That seems pretty good. I am pleased so far with this. The matte glitter's still floating. But it is what it is. King Kong's been sitting out here on the workbench for 1.5 years. I'm gonna dust them a little bit. Ear. All right. I think that will conclude this project. I am happy with how that turned out. So I actually have a couple of more snow globes that I want to work on. Let me sit King Kong here off to the side. Within the last year, we have this. I'm going to do a different video on these, but we have this Disney one that all the water drained out of it, so that seal is gone. So theoretically, if I just refill it with water, distilled water and the glue, should be good. Question is, how do I get to that? There's a music box in the bottom, so that's going to be the challenge. I also have so that's this one, that'll be a future one. I have this, there's also the Cinderella one. These two are my wife's. The Cinderella one that has grown something on the inside. I might tackle this one first because it does not have this, the figurine piece hanging down from the top. I don't know how they did that. So I might try this one first just to get an idea on how that separates. So we'll do that. And there's also a Star Wars Christmas one that the water needs to be changed. It's turned yellow. In fact, this one, besides the mold, algae, I'm not sure what that is, hazardous, that's in there. But my wife has pretty much written these off. So if I get them back to an excellent condition, be happy. If not, it's an experiment. So thanks for joining me in the workshop tonight. If you enjoyed this content, please please subscribe. As always, feel free to leave comments. I will answer those as I see them. I've been slacking a little bit recently, but we'll spend some time answering comments. So one last view of King Kong. How is it doing that?